What's going on YouTube? Josh Shelton with Deviant Racing here. As y'all can see, we've got the Lunar Edition in. If you've watched any of our previous stuff, we were kind of debating between the Granite Crystal and the Lunar. Obviously, you guys can tell we decided to build the Lunar. Today, we're gonna be knocking out the ADD, Addictive Desert Designs front and rear bumpers. So we're gonna give you guys kind of a walkthrough on how to do that, a tutorial, if you will. I'm going over the front bumper install, wiring harness and everything that we did in that, and then same thing on the rear. We've got two lights back there that kind of show you guys how to disassemble the factory stuff, move it over to the ADD stuff, and then install it on the truck. We're gonna start on removing the front bumper. To do that, we'll start with taking the skid plate off. There's 4 16mm bolts. There's one here and then one back here in the back. Take those 4 off and the skid plate should come off.
Skid plate is off. So on the driver's side, if you go up in here, you'll find the harness plug. After you unplug the harness, then you'll come over here and take these 2 bolts off right here that are in the wheel well. After you take those 2 off, then you're gonna take these 3 off. There was 2 right there and 1 right there. Be prepared, because when you take those out, this will come down and just hang. So the next thing you're gonna do is take out those 2 right there, and then that one right there. We decided to take out that last bolt. You really have to remove this whole thing. So after you get these 2 out, go ahead and take out all of the other ones that are around it.
That's way more better.
Yeah, that was way easier.
You got a 21mm up here in the front of the tow hook, and then this is an 18 back here in the back. All right, so once you get the bumper off, you'll put the intercooler bracket back on. You'll mount that back to the truck. It says to take the tow hooks off, but I don't know if it's a 23 model year thing, but it seems like the front body bolt for the back side of the tow hook goes all the way to the body mount. At the end of the install, the tow hooks are supposed to go back on. So for now, we're just gonna let them hang. Now we're gonna start taking off the rear bumper for the ADD Stealth Bomber bumper. First, you gotta take off the main bumper harness. It attaches here. It's on the driver's side right above the exhaust. And then there's a plug on the back of the trailer harness right up in there. You probably can't see, it's too dark. You gotta undo that. And then there's some plugs and bolts back behind the license plate that have to come off. So we're gonna get those off right now. And then you'll take out these 2 bolts that hold the bumper to the truck. There's 2 on the passenger side, 2 on the driver's side. Those are both gonna be 16mm bolts, and then the bumper should come free from the truck. All right, so we got the light bracket taken out of here. We got Caleb over here prepping the LP6s to go in there. Yes, he's sitting on a golf green. Yes, that is our golfing net over there. You know, gotta get them practice swings in. Anyway, he's putting the LP6s on. That bracket will then go back in this front bumper. I'm gonna be over here working on the stock bumper, getting the harness out of it. All right, we got the marker light unplugged. Go ahead and start pulling sensors. Got the fog light pulled out right here. You got to pull the trim piece out so that you can get the parking sensor that's in the trim panel out. And then you just got to start taking all the plastic clips off the harness, and that should get you the harness free from this bumper. And then you'll pull the 2 marker lights and move all that over to the ADD. So you'll squeeze these 2 metal clips together and just kind of give it a little bit of down pressure. And this will unclip out of these 2 holes, and then you just gotta kind of fish, like pry this up and fish it out of this hole. And then we're gonna take all these clips off to get this harness off the factory bumper. And then take all the parking sensors out so that this whole harness can move over to the new ADD bumper. So I'm gonna pull the parking sensors out. On the ADD bumper, you're not gonna have to remove the actual mounting ring. It doesn't look like we reused those, so you just kind of carefully pull this tab back a little bit, and there's a little keeper that keeps it in there. There's one on either side. So you can use a flat blade or something, just kind of pry that out, and then it'll pop right out. Last steps, take your license plate lights out. It's easier to unplug these if you just squeeze this and take the plug out. It's easier to do it while the light is still attached to the bumper. Take that out, and then there's a little 10mm bolt right here that you'll take out, and the light will fall out on the exterior side of the bumper.
So now you've got the whole wiring harness completely taken apart.
All right, so we got this bumper sub harness all finished up, rake hammed. It's all pinned out into the Deutsch connectors, looking good. It's ready to go in the bumper, so we're gonna get that put in here now. We got the LP6s back in here with the bracket. It's all tied up and ready to go. We've got the mounting rings for the parking sensors. So we're gonna go ahead and throw this wiring harness back in here real quick. All right, so to clean the install up just a little bit, you've got to cut this bracket. I'm probably gonna cut the welds and just take the whole bracket off. We don't ever plan on putting the stock bumper back on here. That's just a tab for the fender liner to kind of sit on. So we're gonna take that whole thing off. All right, we got that bracket trimmed off there. So take a grinder and kind of hit this, clean it up a little bit, and then we'll hit it with some Steel-It. So that basically sums it up for installing the front and rear bumpers on this truck. If you guys are following along and like the content, make sure you like and subscribe. We're gonna have the rest of this build dropping pretty soon. We're hoping to roll these videos out probably once a week or so until we get this thing completely built.